Uh, Let me show you some of the old survey worlds over here. So yeah, these are the old survey worlds. Most of these worlds were deemed unfit for long-term survival for varying reasons. This one was crazy hard. It was one of the first survey worlds before I even called them survey worlds. Mistwood. This is a pretty cool place. Let's check this out. So this is a version of the world before the radiation disaster occurred. There was like a giant radiation burst, like a coronal mass ejection or something that occurred on this planet. So this is the world of our memories before it was decimated. After which everything became like a desert biome, and all the vegetation was destroyed. All the sheep died. The only thing that survived was these trees. There's just this crop of bizarre trees here that are apparently radiation resistant. It's the only thing that survives on this planet naturally. And otherwise, it's just this big ocean that occasionally gets boiled away and then dumps, back in precipitation back onto the planet, forming a giant barren world of just a thin layer of water and just this one thicket of bizarre trees here that look really cool. It's loading really slow right now, I think because of the shader mod, I guess. But can't really see it. But yeah, it was a really cool place. It sort of looked like Channelwood from Myst, if you've ever played the original Myst. It looked a lot like the Channelwood world, so we called it Mistwood. Probably, here we go. So yeah, it got irradiated. We had to move. Fortunately, Sid didn't land his ship on that planet. Usually Sid will stay in orbit on planets, but the current survey world is just so damn idyllic that he's gone and landed his ship right on it. Survey World 2. I don't know what this one is. Let's have a look. Can't remember. And eventually? Why isn't it going? I don't know why that's not working. I'll check the log real quick. It's not even recognizing that I'm in the portal for some reason. Am I lagging? Let's try this other one. Okay, goes immediately. Oh, this place was Cragstone. Wasn't originally called that. But yeah, this planet here was really difficult to survive on. It's full of monsters down below. Look at this place. It looks awesome with the shaders on. It didn't usually look quite this awesome, but it did look very alien, even without the shaders. But yeah, the idea here was that it was just a barren, dark, rocky crap hole, man. It was an awful place. Only the most hardcore survivalists even liked trying to play here. But it was covered in zombies, just covered in monsters, just so full of them. It was dark all the time. It was covered in this haze, and there was just no refuge from the monsters until we built one. So there was no plant life either. There was no plant life at all. There was just a bunch of zombies. But a handful of them would drop a few useful items like seeds and saplings. So you had to basically earn everything that you got on this planet by surviving the monsters. And yeah, people built up on this nice mountain here, far away from the flat lands where the zombies roamed supreme. And they built this nice little city up. This was pretty much the only semi-safe refuge on the entire planet. And there's not even any ore here. In order to get ore, you had to collect the red sands down here. There was a ton of this red sand. You had to collect a bunch of it, and you had to basically harvest iron from large quantities of this iron-rich rust sand. That was the idea. And so yeah, you could get iron and whatnot, but yeah, you had to basically filter it out of the rust sand. And that's what people did. The hardest of the hard planets to survive on, but people still managed to build up, survive, and thrive here by working together. That's one of the things I like to sort of help illustrate to people on the server is that real life it can be difficult as well. There's limited resources. There's mortality. There's illnesses and whatnot. But if people work together, you know, you get build up economies of scale. You have division of labor. You have, you know, social safety nets. You can thrive in almost any environment. You know, that's what the server is sort of intended to teach. Because more or less, you know, there's a lot of people in real life that seem to think that hardship justifies violence. But the more difficult survival is, the more important it is that people work together and form voluntarily, you know, uh, mutually voluntary arrangements to help benefit each other, mutually benefit each other. Because if you try to survive at everybody else's expense, you become you know, a liability for other people instead of an asset. And if you all work together, you find mutually beneficial situations to thrive in. Everybody, uh, everybody does a lot better, even in the most harshest, even in the harshest situations. That's into that little spiel. Let's get out of there. But yeah, that's pretty much the memory side of this world. But there's also a dreams side of the astral realm. Let's go ahead and check that out. Ooh, let's see this character here, Morpheus. Have you ever had a dream you were so sure was real? How would you know the difference between a dream world and the real one? What if I told you reality is simply whatever dreamers imagine to be real? Around us are dreamers imagining their own realities. They may allow you to see into their dreams, or even to help shape them. To return here, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, here's a bunch of dreamers dreaming their worlds. Here's a familiar looking character. Let's go ahead and pop into my dream world. It's pretty boring. It's just a massive, vast desert with a few builds in it. Here's a really basic little cottage that I like. I like to build pretty basic cottages, like I said, pretty geometrically inspired. Also, I got one of these cool things. You basically plot down a whole bunch of blocks and then you map them and you can put up your little image. It's pretty cool. I've got the blocks way over there. Here's one of somebody else's builds. Brainless Zombies build. He started building a giant mansion, I guess, and didn't finish it. I started building this epic castle from Final Fantasy III, but I lost my steam on that too. But it's a pretty cool start. But basically, the idea here in the dream worlds is they're creative worlds. You just build freeform creative worlds, build whatever you want. I started building this badass epic airship, but it looks pretty cool. It's not totally finished, but I'm probably not ever going to finish it at this rate. It's changing time of day on here. It's not really supposed to be doing that. I must have not set it up right. Oh well, let's get out of here. So yeah, that's my dream world. There's a few other pretty cool dream worlds around. One of the most awesome looking ones is Simon's here. I gotta show you this one just because there's some crazy stuff in here, man. He's got I gotta relog real quick. It didn't load the maps right. He's got all these giant like pixel arts that he plotted down and then mapped from Gurren Lagann. It's pretty badass. He's also got all sorts of redstone contraptions over here, pretty well illustrated for just about anybody on the server can travel to other people's dream worlds. So if you ever want to know how to build like an auto furnace or a crusher for a spawner, you just come on here and he's got them all laid out. It's almost like a blueprint. Why is it so damn dark? The shader mod makes a lot of things look way darker than they otherwise looked because this place was a lot more easy to see without the shader mod on. But yeah, I've stuck with it thus far. I'm just going to keep the shader mod going. Some stuff looks just amazing, but yeah, other things, it's not quite so good. But yeah, he's got all sorts of cool redstone contraptions in here. So yeah, if you're going to get on the server, you ever need to know how to make redstone, this is definitely the place. This is the place I go, and I need to know how to make some of these things. Looks like he's got a couple more weird things out here. I guess it's another crusher. And this thing here is pretty awesome. It is a massive, gigantic tileable sugarcane factory. This thing cranks out so much sugarcane. It's insane. It's you're just gonna have to come see it for yourself if you want to see it. He's got all sorts of crazy circuits, and like he's got like these slime arms that rake the sugarcane down. Just pretty awesome. He's got I don't know what this is. I guess it's the circuitry for the sugar factory. It must sit up underneath. So yeah, you can even see the circuitry underneath that otherwise you can't get into. It's pretty cool. And yeah, let's get out of here. And that is the coolest stuff on the Astral Realm. Well, that is pretty much a wrap for the tour of the Anarchic Frontiers server. I'll get into more depth on some of the mods in another series of videos, but for now, that's it. I hope everybody enjoyed the tour, and I hope a whole lot of you will come and visit the server yourself. The website is going to, the address is going to be in the details section for the video. It's also on the website. I'll put the website in the info section as well. And that is it. Have a good one. See you online. Have fun.